First shallow jig fish ever. Morning everybody, Mike from FisherMN here. We're back at it. We're on our way north, but I couldn't help but stop by a lake that I haven't fished for a while. I would call this lake my 30, 18, 12, 9 lake. We have a chance at a 30-inch northern, 18 or better inch bass, 12-inch or better crappie, and 9-inch or better sunfish. All species I like to fish for, they're in there. We're gonna see what we can do. Of course, early before the sun comes up here, we're gonna fish for some bass, but then we're gonna see what else we can put in the boat. Let's go fishing. All right, we're here at spot number 1. Actually, I want to fish down past that fog, but you know what? My biggest bass ever on this lake came right here. And I thought, as I huff and puff, this lake is a little bit longer than what I remember. We will work this reed edge here and see if we can put a giant in the boat. I'm liking it if I can get all the way up to that edge. I'm guessing before the sun comes up there'll be some hunting right on the edge there. You know, this is a lake that's not a secret in Minnesota, but the way I look at it, it can be a time of day thing too. I don't see anybody fishing it right now. So maybe some of the fish that are bigger or older come during times when they have less of a chance to be caught. Into the sunrise we go. Oh, how beautiful is that? It'd be nice if there's one bass on each one of these reed things sticking up here. That'd be a pretty fun day. Let's try this one. We'll keep moving. Sometimes by the true shoreline, it's where frogs have more of a chance to be popping out here. So we'll try by this true shoreline here. 3.5 feet right here. If we start catching them, I'll get a better angle. Right now we got the sun right in our, right lined up with us. That's right, we're gonna throw the jig. Probably the last video that you saw, if I do them in order, you found out that I learned how to fish a jig. So whenever you see the orange rod, it's time for the jig. Maybe the jig is going to help us catch a fish on this stretch. We do have a legit throwback lure now, the jig. If we get a short hit, we can throw that over there. And jig them up. Definitely a Throw in shallow, throw in front of you, throw out deep kind of day. Till we figure out where they're at. There we go. All right. How about a jig bass to start our day? Nice fish. That was pretty cool. The jig just started swimming away. All right. Black and blue. Still fresh. First fish. Nice. That would be my first shallow jig fish. No, don't get me wrong, I still love the frog bite, but that last jig bite was pretty cool. See my jig going whoosh. It's like, yep, there's a fish there. Now that we know there's some in here, let's hop the frog around. Alright, jig's back out. I didn't need to tell you, you saw the orange rod. Alright, we're gonna keep it away from that area. Definitely a northern. I will give him credit for his acrobatics. So many good looking areas, but they're only good if you're getting bites on the baits you're using. Unfortunately, the frog hasn't even had a swipe besides a small northern. Alright, I'm going to take a break for a second from bass fishing. It's, I mentioned earlier in the summer that my dad passed away this year. It's been fun going to different lakes that we fish together. This is one of them, and this area was an area where my dad put a beat down on some big sunfish. So the times were a little bit different. The water was a lot higher. But you know what? I'm going to throw a couple of casts for Dad. Let's see if I can get a sunfish here in the spot, which I believe is where we were when we caught those sunfish. Or should I say when he caught those sunfish. He caught most of them that day. You know, you have those days where you remember them and you talk about them for years to come. And this was the spot where my dad talked about, remember when we got those sunfish? Those big sunfish. All right, we got another species in the boat, a crappie. 10 1/4. We're looking for a 12-incher today. That's a nice crappie. I was throwing my jig, my bass jig, along this shore here, and I kept feeling tap, tap, tap. So I thought I'd see what was tap, tap, tapping, and it was some panfish. That's a nice crappie. Caught a sunfish also, my camera was off, and not quite that 9-incher we're looking for. So we're looking for a 12-inch crappie and a 9-inch or bigger bluegill. There we go. Got a sunfish on. I always tell when it's a sunfish, they bite in a certain way. Very pink here. Beautiful sunfish. I think when the camera was off, I made this comment. The fish on this lake tend to be tucked close to shore, even the panfish. Yep. The ones that are biting are taking it really well. Let's see if I can get some of those bigger marks down there to bite. There we go. A little better sunfish. Nice and round, so when they get a little bit longer, they're usually pretty chunky. There we go. Crappie. Ooh. A nice crappie. That just fell straight off the hook. Oh man. Greener over here. The grass is greener. See if the fish will bite. Alright, one more with the jig. I'm gonna try something else. Alright, we got a perfect setup. We got the wind blowing into the shore. We got a grass line here. And we got a crankbait that can be just outside of it. I'll pick up any fish that are cruising, looking for like a sunfish or a bait fish kind of dinner. Alright. Onward we go. There we go. Fish on. Nice bass. All right. You know, that's what, about 5 pretty good ones. We are scratching out a day with the jig. Another bass. Still getting the feel for it, but better and better each time out, I guess. Kind of nice, sun's high in the sky, almost directly above me actually. Still managing some bites. Can we get that kicker fish? A nice big one to round out the day.